Hello peeps and hello peppers and welcome to Soul Sunday. Hello stranger, if you've never been here, it's great to have you here. I am an artist with multiple disabilities in Iceland, and on Sundays I always kind of do something that I'm grumbling about, very random. Can also be on Saturdays because I want to have one day of the week off. And right now I am actually in a bus shelter. It has started snowing totally heavily, and I am here with my cozy winter bag and my not my cats, but those are my friend's cats. She sent me such a cute photo, and I know that my friend is very accurate with language, but if you shouldn't know that Icelandic is a language of its own, and Icelandic is a very old language that makes new words out of really old word stems. So actually yesterday my friend started using the word kisuklessa. Like kisa is a cat, or it's like one of the words for a cat. And klessa is like both a chunk of used gum, or like anything that is like in a really dense mess. So let's say, like, because I have mental health issues, I can even say yay, i klesse, I'm in a pile. So, or I'm in a really chunky disorderly pile. But I love this word kisuklessa so much because, let's say, many people say that like a pile of fluffy animals makes them really happy. So, like, whenever I say, yay, klesse, I am in a pile, then I can now say there is always a kisuklessa to cheer me up. And I mean, that is not like excusing anything that's going on in the world, or that's not belittling my problems. I just say it's there is still life. Like, one of my favorite like inspirational stories ever since I was a kid was where the king was actually a really grim sort of dominator over his country, and he didn't want to listen to people, or he didn't want any animals or plants around. But then suddenly a cat decided, when he dropped the crown for the night, this velvet in the crown is so soft that she wanted to have her young in this crown. And then something tickled the king's feet when he woke up, and he saw the young cats, and that was like life, and that gave him joy. So actually, let's say I am in a bout of depression. That is okay. But let's say, especially in such a bout of depression, I try to find something small that shows me that there is still life on this planet. Like, I can't keep any animals, but this thing is fluffy, like also has a fluffy grip to it. I am so glad that I surprisingly met an old acquaintance at church. That actually the sermon in the church was about, like, we can't see the world in as a whole, because like, we only have a certain perception. Animals see the world differently, and I think one of the like useless facts that I like, that I learned across my life, is if our eyes were the same proportions as cats' eyes, we would have eyes the size of tennis balls. I think that would be kind of hard on me. I should draw myself as an owl with huge eyes, but I'll do that later, or I'll do that tomorrow. I wanted to watercolor these cats, and I also watercolored them a bit yesterday, but like, unpacking the watercolors here while it's 3 minutes to the bus, that's a little bit tricky. So I'm using what I have. And actually, I'm also grumbling a lot about like a film review that I saw yesterday on YouTube that came down to a like normal middle class family where like both the mother and the daughter are witches, and like I grew up with this story as a story tape, but back then it wasn't a film, and it was sort of a running gag that the non-witchy father always complained, but the girl who reviewed the film, she said that means the father is actually denying a part of the mother's and the daughter's identity, and that makes me think a lot. Okay, I never got married, and that doesn't play such a huge cultural role in Iceland, by the way. Um, so, but slash and in today's time, I'm thinking a lot about what kind of people I want in my life who can actually like embrace and appreciate my identity and make my life richer. I don't have a problem with like sometimes putting interests on the back burner, like when I have guests, but I would actually think a spouse is more than a guest in my life. Like, I would think that would be someone who I want to share my life with, and I know the story of the witches originated in the 80s, where probably many people still had a feeling they had to get married. Um, but also the story had a sister branch about a talking elephant who usually was like content with himself and his basically, I would even say, political activism, and I actually enjoyed this like for him to do what he thought was good for his surroundings, and only in a much later story there is a girlfriend and wife. Uh, okay, now the bus is coming, so I have to say bye bye.